Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. My name is Vernacular binti Halim. Today I would like to present about the history of Chinese Vernacular School in Malaysia. The Chinese had been in Malacca in the middle of the 15th century, but they had never established a Chinese school at that time. This is because their number is not many and they come to Malaya only to earn a living and do not intend to become permanent resident in Malaya. The establishment of Chinese school in Malaya by the Chinese community only started in 1829 when the British brought in Chinese people to work in tin mines in Perak and Selangor. The first Chinese vernacular school and classroom institution in Malaya was built by the London Missionary Society in the state of Malacca in 1815. The language of instruction was based on local Chinese dialects such as Kung Fu, Teochew, and Hokkien. The early Chinese school curriculum was based on the rote learning method from the classics. There are 4 classic books of Confucianism, which is Superior Learning, Daksu, Min Doctrine, Zongyong, Confucius Analect, Lemieux, and Mencius. Chinese school in Malay has been funded by Chinese capitalists with the aim of providing workers for their enterprises and businesses. There were 15 Chinese schools in the Straits Settlement and Federated Malay until 1919. The level of Chinese vernacular school in Malay has 3 levels, which is primary education for 6 years, junior secondary education for 3 years, and secondary education for prepare the student to continue their study at university in China. Kang Yue and Sun Yat-sen was the leader of the revolution in China. After the reform failed, they fled to Malaya to encourage the local Chinese leader to set up school. The school was ruled a new educational principle that combined the teaching of Confucius with Western science. In the late 19th century, more and more private schools were funded along with model and oriented entirely on China. The old Chinese vernacular school was replaced by the modern school system around the 1920s. The subject at top is science, geometry, geography, history, and core subject until now. In May 1919, the May Fourth movement that took place in China brought changes to the Chinese vernacular school in Malaya. One of the changes that happened is the use of Mandarin, which also became the official language of instruction in mainland China. The textbook were also rewritten with the inspiration of integrating Chinese people living abroad and was sent to Malaya to be read by the local students. Most teachers are also sent from China to teach the Chinese vernacular school in Malaya. The British colonists began to realize the danger of the ideological influence of the Chinese government on the Chinese people here. Anti-British sentiment was also spread in 1920, and the cause is school registration enactment was created. Its main purpose is to control the development of Chinese vernacular schools. Firstly is the School Registration Enactment 1920. The Chinese society sees the School Registration Enactment as having violated the basic right of the Chinese people in the management of the school itself, but the British administration did not budge from its stand and continued with the school registration plan. Through this law, the syllabus and teacher registration has been controlled. Following this result action, nearly 315 Chinese schools were deregistered between 1925 and 1928. Second is Governor Cecil Clementi. In 1929, the stringent measures were imposed on Chinese school by Governor Cecil Clementi. It included the appointment of Chinese school teachers from among local people that is born in Malaya and the banning of textbooks containing anti-British elements. An amendment was made to the 1925 enactment which allowed the Director of Education to cancel the registration of a teacher whose activities were considered subversive. The control over Chinese school is relatively less effective because schools such as Yukchou School in Ipoh and Chonghua School in Muar continue to have secondary classes. Based on record in 1938, the number of students in Chinese vernacular school in the Straits and Associated States was 91,534 people. The policies introduced by the colonialists have led to the establishment of a vernacular education system that is found to lack uniformity. The presence of Chinese who brought their ethnic identity and self-identity to Malaya has succeeded in establishing Chinese vernacular school without the help of the British. The school has become a place for them to define their culture and identity.